Welcome to Same Cast, Different Day podcast. I'm Marcello.
And I'm Tina Marie.
Thank you all for tuning in to this episode. Just a reminder, starting in about 2 to 3 weeks, I will be starting recording content for the subscription part of the podcast, and it is $2.99 a month to subscribe via Spotify if you guys are interested in some explicit content. Um, Also, don't forget to share and subscribe to the podcast. If you're not subscribed already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And the next episode of the podcast will be our season finale for season 9. I can't believe that season 9 is wrapping up. Just can't believe
Wow, that was quick.
it. It was even with the breaks we took in the within the season, it still was like, dang, it went by really fast.
It did.
Oh, Lord. So things I wasn't quite sure what to start with. So I was like, maybe we could just start with some news. So I guess we can head into the news roundup. Now, recently, it's been reported that a lot of people have been coming up missing. A lot of children and adults has been coming up missing. There has not been a day where I've turned on the TV and there's not a report of someone coming up missing, or there's a silver alert that's going on out there. And I just kind of don't want to know what's going on. I don't know if it's just for. Now, at first, I thought that like in the city of Milwaukee, where we're at, that that we had a serial killer or something out on the news. Like maybe this is why people are coming up serial killer out on the news. But across the country, every day there's been a report of somebody coming up missing, and I just find it very strange, and I want to know what's going on with all these people coming up missing. I'm trying to think of a theory, and I really couldn't think of a theory, but I was gonna say human trafficking, but it's been like senior citizens coming up missing too. I'm like, well, who want to human traffic a senior citizen? So I'm like, I couldn't come up with a theory.
I mean, yeah, I was gonna say it doesn't seem like any of the victims are connected.
Mm-mm.
Like same sex, age, area where they're being taken from, etc., etc. Um, usually sex traffickers like to prey on people that um are alone for the most part. Like they grab them when they're alone for the most part. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, I don't feel like I don't feel like there's been any pattern. It could be that the news just started covering it more also. So we've been exposed to more cases, so it seemed like it's an
Mm-hmm.
uptick. I'm not really sure. Um,
Because I'm like in other states, it'd be like every black kids, it's white kids, it's like preschool age kids, it's teenagers, it's then you got the senior citizens that's coming up missing. Like recently, we just had a I don't know where she was found, but a 14-year-old girl and I believe her 2-day old baby is missing. So it's almost like what is going on out here?
mm,
And, and like I said, like although
he's stuck.
um
Oh,
th- although there was a string of crimes that was happening like the downtown area, and the police only alerted a security team down there. They didn't make it known to the public that there was these like crimes going on in the area where people were getting like robbed and stuff at gunpoint. And the police
mhm.
kind of held that information to themselves until whatever 2 3 weeks later. So I'm hoping that this is not a situation where they're trying to from the public until they just absolutely have to say something about it. And I really hope it's not one of those type of situations. And if it is, I feel like that's kind of withhold that kind of information.
Um, if anybody wants to know, the FBI, if you go to FBI.gov, they do have. a whole slew of missing and kidnapped persons, like their pictures and names and things like that. Um, I mean, I feel like just, since we kind of bring this to the light, I feel like, every once in a while, go in there and see if you recognize anybody. I
Mhm.
believe local and state governments also would have um, kind of like a database or a list of missing and kidnapped persons as well. Our most famous missing person is what's her name? Here in Milwaukee.
Um, oh my God, I forgot the little girl name, but I got her picture.
We're both sad. Both sad.
Well,
Not
were they?
her,
Wait, which one? Oh,
the
Alexis
young
Patterson,
girl, Alexis Patterson. There we go.
and
She's been
also this young
missing
man
for
too is
some
still missing.
years. Hmm.
Yes, Alexa
Yeah.
Patterson. I believe she went missing in August of 2001. I believe I was in the fourth grade when she was reported missing. Um,
It says May 3rd, 2002.
oh, 2002. Okay, so 2002. I was in fifth grade when she was reported missing. So those is one of those stories that was like wow to me, like hearing that story because the fact that she was taken so close to her home, like they can really see on the porch and see her walking to the building, like walking in the building. And for it to be what 20, 22 years later, and she still hasn't been found. I think it's crazy. There's been pictures surfacing online of her as people that like a doctor favor her. They did do a DNA test of a woman. I believe she lived in like Ohio or Indiana, where she was thought to be Alexis. She did the DNA test and it proved that it wasn't her. So they're still at least they're doing some type of effort and still trying to find that young lady 22 years later. So I can't
Yep,
give them
she
credit
was
for that.
7. She was 7 when she disappeared, and she would be 29 now. Yep.
So I'll have a picture to show y'all, but so yeah. So to keep this show moving along, Tina had originally sent me this story, and when I had watched the story, I was like, yeah, you got to be lying. It's about a young woman who was labeled dead, and I'm actually got the. I got to share my screen to show y'all, but I got the clip to show you guys. So just give me a moment here. Ooh, no, y'all can't see that. That's not be an audio on that one. All right, so let me show y'all this clip. Oh, nope, no sound. Oh, I messed up already.
Died suddenly and unexpectedly. In fact, in January, at least, of course, this is all on paper. Watkins says that at this point she is frustrated as she continues to search for answers.
You can see in that video she's very much alive, and she spoke with teens Beery, who investigates this mistake that caused so much pain and anguish.
Because I'm labeled deceased, I'm not who they say I am.
Kenshay Watkins died on January 10th. The Whitehaven woman walks, talks, breathes, and eats. But legally, Kenshariel Watkins has not existed for 6 months.
Apparently nobody knows how to fix it.
It all started when she applied for Social Security benefits. Watkins had been hospitalized for seizures that made it difficult for her to work and drive. Her benefits were denied. In February 2024, she visited the Social Security office on Austin P to appeal her claim in person.
She was like, well, Miss Watkins, we listed you as deceased January 10th, 2024. I said, I'm sorry, excuse me, you listed me as what? And she was like, deceased. I said, from what? From who? Who told you that?
Watkins learned someone at the Social Security office on 3rd Street mistakenly marked her as dead.
It's one of the most frustrating, most disheartening, most complicated, but so uncomplicated because a simple error has caused so much chaos.
Newly married to the love of her life, she might as well have vanished in thin air.
Not literally, but tangibly, you've lost your wife and you're a widow.
Letter after letter piled up on their kitchen counter addressed Ken Shea Watkins' estate.
They were informed that I passed away.
Her debt collectors saw it. Her bank canceled her cards. Her tax return would not process.
Per their records, I don't even have a tax return on file because the social it's attached to is labeled as deceased.
She can't drive. She can't vote. She can't work.
Nobody can pay me. They can't deduct taxes. And it's illegal to pay me under the table or we're both going to jail.
Living with her diagnosis of epilepsy, Watkins can't even find health insurance.
They can't find my social, so they can't add me.
I'm living with a ghost. Literally, paranormal activity.
The couple is haunted by the financial, emotional, and mental toll this has taken on their family. Watkins struggled to find a Social Security employee who could help her.
So you can kill me, but you can't bring me back to life?
After 35 years on this earth, Memphian Ken Shea Watkins died suddenly and unexpectedly, in fact, in January. At least, of course, this is all on paper. Watkins says that at this point she is frustrated.
So, first of all, I can't take anybody seriously because why they had a woman disappear on when they was doing a news report come out from she vanished.
Well, they said she just vanished into.
And yes. Like, why would you do that?
Serious?
That's terrible. Like, why would you do something like that? But okay.
It was a dramatic effect.
That's terrible. But, and like, this is crazy, right? So, my thing is, so they saying that somebody at Social Security Administration accidentally marked her deceased. And my thing is, like, how would that even come across somebody's desk? You get what I'm saying? Like, I heard that she had been hospitalized because she suffered from epilepsy, right? And I'm like, well, maybe somebody at the hospital mistakenly reported her dead or something. Because how did that even start? Like, there's no reason for anybody in the Social Security Administration office to mark you deceased unless somebody notifies you. You know what I'm saying? You just randomly pulled up her file and marked her deceased. You know what I'm saying?
Somebody didn't want to do their job, or it's probably somebody who secretly know her, but if she didn't know the person and I don't like this person, I'll say mark this bitch dead.
And I feel like that after 6 months, that should be rectified. Like, they're gonna have to either, I don't know if they can reinstate her Social Security number or if they have to give her a brand new one. I don't know how that works, you know? So this is crazy. Like, she can't even vote. She can't get life insurance. I would be suing. Somebody get sued. Somebody
can't get health insurance. I can't do nothing. I'm basically
can't get a job. Can't nothing. That's why I'm saying somebody will have to pay me for my pain and suffering. I'm sorry. I hope she.
And if it wasn't for her wife, you know, there's no telling what could have ended up happening to her and the kids if she wasn't married.
So that's what I'm saying, but it's putting a lot of burden on her spouse. You know what I'm saying? So, but that somebody needs to rectify that, and the state should have to pay her out for that pain and suffering and give her Social Security benefits that she was applying for. Like, this is crazy. You said I was dead, I need to get Social Security benefits today. And then that's my thing, like, I guess I just don't understand that. You know what I'm saying? Like, how could you possibly do something like that? Like, that's extremely life altering. That's terrible.
You just
Memphis, get your earth together.
You can't be a part of society.
Yeah,
And
you can't
then
do anything without social.
and
Nothing.
then if this woman was to turn to crime, and then I'm like, well, like I was like, well, it's the government fault that she had to turn to crime to take care of her family because y'all won't unmark her as dead.
I mean, technically, she can't exist, so they can't prosecute her, right? Make that
That
make
is
sense.
true. That is true. How you can't arrest somebody that's dead?
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Mm, mm, mm.
Mm.
So to keep this, I forgot to upload the damn picture. So to keep
Way to
the
go.
show going, there was a man. His name is Desmond Cleveland and Karen Hill. They were both accused of having sex in a Waukesha County lobby, I believe last year. Desmond was released out of jail, and he basically was released on time served and has been released on these charges. Karen is due in court, and within the next 2 weeks, she's still facing charges for having sex in the lobby. And I get that they were homeless, but I'm like, there wasn't nowhere else that y'all can go to express yourselves.
So, so Desmond Cleveland was 28 at the time, and Karen Hill was 67, and this is what they were doing.
In the lobby of
Mm.
the walking shop. And if for the people who are not from Wisconsin, I hate when I see videos online. I know I'm a little off topic. I hate when I see videos online and they be like, in Waukesha, Wisconsin, like that's not how it's pronounced.
It's Waukesha, y'all. Waukesha. So
But
sounds
yeah,
like
I'm
they
like, and I
were.
feel like her being 57, she should have known better.
So sounds like they were trying to go to a boarding house, but they got locked up. They walked into the jail lobby and took a nap. The sexual intercourse was consensual. She tried to cover them both up with
Yeah.
articles of clothing so no one would see them. Uh, the complaint says the pair has been dating for 5 years. Um, Desmond Cleveland is a black man and Karen Hill is a white woman,
Mm-hmm.
or appears to be. Um, let's see here. This is crazy.
I
I
would
don't see
just feel like y'all couldn't
anything.
go outside to like go by like go in a public bathroom. Y'all could have went in the bathroom of the
Or
lobby and did
or
that.
you just or you just didn't have to have sex. Like
Well,
you come
that
into
too.
a
I mean,
jail
if y'all
lobby.
wanted to do
You come into a jail lobby and have sex. Though I was
well, there's
trying to see
lots
if
of
anybody was
cameras.
under the influence. I'm trying to see if anybody was under the influence. Like you right and they finna take you to jail. You finna get arrested and go right to jail right there. Like like what was y'all doing?
Uh,
I don't see anything
Fed.
suggesting like a mental health illness or anybody being under the influence or
No,
anything.
they were just horny
So
and out of their mind. That's
listen,
all.
60, okay, 28 year old, I get, but a 60, come on, man, you're 67 years old, ma'am.
Eh, she should know better. I got a piece of corn stuck in my teeth and it's really bothering me. Um, let's head into this next story before we head into hot topics. So, Nike is losing money after cutting partnership with retail brands. So what does this mean? So Nike cut partnership with retail brands like Nike, like with stores like Foot Locker. I don't know if they cut ties to Playmaker, but they were going with this direct to what is it called? Like a
So
direct to source
basically,
type thing. They was like basically they
yeah,
want you to purchase their shoes directly through them and then they ship you your shoes or whatever how it was going. So
correct.
uh, so basically, right now Nike is failing, and they said one of the reasons why Nike is failing because they're not staying up to date with trends. They're relying too much on Air Jordan, Air Force Ones, and Dunks, while other companies are doing better at marketing fresher styles to the younger customers, which I believe is true. And I feel like, and one thing I've been noticing, well, besides I hate to say it. I hate to say it like this. I feel, 'Cause I feel like the majority of people I see wear Air Jordans are the people who are living paycheck to paycheck. The majority
Oh
of people I see
man.
wear Air Jordans. In my personal opinion, that's just how I feel. That's how I see it. The people that's living paycheck to paycheck, they work in overtime and all these extra hours just go buy a pair of Jordans. And if you look at the people who like are not living paycheck to paycheck and are making a decent amount of money, I'm not even talking about doctors and lawyers and so forth. I'm talking about somebody that's between the 40 to $60,000 pay range a year. Those people, not the people who make less than $30,000 a year, but yet you're trying to buy every pair of Jordans that come out every 2 weeks. I'm not talking about those people. People between 40 to $60,000, and if you realize those people, they are buying shoes that cost $20. They're in a club with shoes on their feet that cost $20, $30, $45. Those people don't care about the brand of shoe that's on their feet. And like I said, and that's really the trend right now. And really the trend right now, they don't people are not really caring about the brand. They just really caring about the style of the shoe and how it looks and how many different outfits I can wear with this one shoe. That's what they care about right now. And the thing about it is like with Air Jordans, like you buy a pair of Air Jordans and they come out with a shirt or whatever. They come out with the Air Jordans. So now you got this one shirt and a pair of pants to wear with these shoes. You can't. It's hard for you to mix multiple outfits with this one shoe. And in my personal opinion, I stopped wearing like I still own a pair of Air Jordans. I haven't bought Jordans in years. I still have a pair of Jordans that I bought 6 years ago and never worn them. These were some retro Jordans. I bought them 6 years ago, never worn them. I don't wear Jordans often because for one, they hurt my feet. They are really bad on my feet. They're uncomfortable. They hurt. This is why I don't buy Jordans. I don't understand why people buy Jordans just to wear them to their job. This should show up that they have the new pair of Jordans. I know their feet hurt like hell. I don't got to the point in now in my age where I buy shoes for the comfort. I am no longer buying shoes that's going to hurt my feet, especially if I'm going to be standing on my feet for a long period of time. Like me, I'm not a slide person. I don't like wearing slides. They're very uncomfortable. They hurt my feet. I don't like slides. I'm not a slides person. Give me a nice comfortable. I'm happy.
I mean, I wear nursing shoes the majority of the time. If I'm going somewhere, so that's the thing, right? So my feet haven't grown in a while, and I got a large collection of shoes. So, and I mean, I would rather keep those because they're in good condition because I rarely wear them and just continue to buy outfits to go along with them. I mean, that's pretty much what I've been doing. I mean, I got kids, so two of my kids, their feet are still growing. Toddler, is a little bit um, more affordable with their shoes, so they have multiple pair of shoes. But when you got teenagers and stuff like that, it's more expensive for a pair of Jordans per se than we had all of these third parties where people could um, resell the shoes. First of all, they'll buy them all up, don't have any intentions of wearing them. They just want to resell them so they can get more
Mhm.
money than what they bought it for in store. And then now everybody was kind of like stuck with buying them from these third party sites, which kind of sucks. You know what I'm saying? Um, and a lot of times, the authenticity was questioned. They say that they're authentic, they go through an authentication process. But then I'm part of a sneakerhead group on Facebook for women, and I've seen so many complaints about the quality of Nike in their shoes and how many times people have to have sent them back and, so on and so forth. So, and I feel like now there's a lot of people out here that are, a lot of other shoe companies like Puma, New Balance, is back in play. So people have a lot more options as far as we call them tennis shoes up here. Um, but I kind of just feel like that. Yeah, I mean, I knew Nike was going to. They are not keeping up with trends. I don't really see any new shoes being put out other than for like basketball stars. You know, Nike will cut a deal with them and then they release a shoe. But
And
then,
even
and
with they shoes, it be
realistically,
the same shoe, just a different color.
right? And I mean, and then a lot of them are not aesthetically pleasing to the eye. And then I'm just like, well, where am I going with these? Like ever since COVID, I feel like people are more into more leisure wear, comfort shoes. Like that's why New Balance came into play. That's why Puma came into play, back into play. So, like Rihanna has a shoe with Puma. She has a collaboration with Puma. So, I mean, people are back to wearing their Adidas and, et cetera, et cetera. It's a lot of other tennis shoe companies out there besides Nike. So Nike needs
And
to.
there are, if you are a person who enjoys the nightlife, there are a lot of nightlife establishments that will not let you in because of you wearing Jordan shoes.
Correct. I feel like a lot of the establishments here, especially in like if you're at any downtown for any city, I feel like that's always going to be a really hard, dress code, right?
Hmm.
When you go to Vegas, they have strict dress codes when you go into their clubs and bars and stuff like that. So yeah, and I mean, as a woman, when I buy my heels, I'm not out here buying no um Christian Louboutins and stuff like that. For one, I heard they hurt. For two, where am I going in a $2,000 pair of shoes? It ain't that serious. Thank you. I'll get mine off of. I done got shoes off of Amazon. I mean, I've had heels for so long. You know what I'm saying? I use other sites and things like that. I probably don't pay no more than
I,
$40 for a pair of heels.
I
Honestly,
bought I bought shoes off of TikTok, and those, to be honest, those was I bought a pair of shoes off of TikTok. One of them was $22, and the other one was like $15. And out of all the shoes I own, those are the most comfortable shoes I've had on my feet in a long time.
yep.
Eh,
So, so that's what I'm saying. Like Nike starting to phase out a little bit. I feel like when I was younger, that was, we had Nike, we had K Swiss. I mean,
mhm.
then we got seasons up here, so Timberland boots, things like that. So I mean, those were. So we had something called Saucony back then. We used to
I,
wear that kind of looked like a New Balance.
if it's really cold outside, I bought a boot. It was on sale at Auto. They were like originally $200, but I got them for like 120 some dollars. And these are insulated boots, but they look like a shoe. They're almost like a Nike tennis shoe, but they're boots. And they have fur on the inside and they're insulated. And they're slip resistant on top of that and waterproof, water resistant. And those shoes keep me so warm in those super cold days. Y'all, when I say y'all, it get below 25 degrees here, maybe like 25 below zero. Those shoes has
And
saved
he be
my life
outside with
in the
no coat.
winter.
He
Huh?
got boots, but don't want to put on no coat, y'all.
Uh, I have a heated coat, thank you very much.
But when do you wear it? Is the
It's
question.
super cold days.
Mm, hmm Other than that, what do you wear?
Uh,
Nothing.
I wear a hoodie.
Oh my gosh.
I,
Whatever.
I love. I'm a hoodie person, uh, because I had left some hoodies in the storage room. I had forgot about them, and then my mom though went and dug them out, and then she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna my yard sale. Like, I better get some of this money from you trying to sell my stuff." But, ladies and gentlemen, this has been what was we doing? Oh, news roundup.
What
Yeah,
is wrong with you?
I forgot what part of this show that we were on.
I
That's
see.
that's my bad. That one was on me. My bad.
Mm,
That one was on me. So,
Mhm.
with that being said, let's head into hot topics. What's going on, everybody? So hot topics. So first of all, to kick off hot topics, I just want to say, World Wrestling Entertainment, y'all did y'all thing last night for the SummerSlam pay per view. It was so many twists and turns I didn't see. And yes, everybody, yes, for everybody who questions, yes, we know that it's not real. We all know it's the entertainment. It was still entertaining. It was a lot of twists and turns I did not see. Amazing show last night. And this was the first pay per view I was able to stay up and watch the whole entire thing without falling asleep. So amazing show.
Look at you not being an old man.
I'm gonna be sleep early tonight. I'm already ready to go to sleep. I ain't still ain't
Oh
taking
my
no nap.
goodness. Oh my
So
goodness, that's terrible.
so let's get on the whole update on what's going on with this whole presidential race. It has been so much going on. I'm going to share this first clip and then we're going to discuss it. Hopefully, I got the right clip.
Vice President Kamala Harris
told WBTV the Dunkin' Donuts gave them permission to park.
Vice President Kamala Harris, Vice President.
I'm messing up. I am messing up. Okay. Okay, I'm sorry if I got. It's another story that I wanted to share before we got into all that stuff. I'm sorry. So this was a story. I don't know if I played this last week. It was a story about how a bunch of people went to a Trump rally and they came back and their vehicles was gone. So I want to play the clip for you.
Told WBTV the Dunkin' Donuts gave them permission to park there, but the towing company tells a different story. Now people who came from miles away are stuck with no vehicles. WBTV's Ron Lee has this exclusive story tonight. He's joining us now live. So Ron, this has got to be very frustrating for folks out there tonight.
That's exactly right, John. As a matter of fact, I talked to dozens of people who were stranded here. They told me basically the same thing. They parked here in this parking lot, went to the rally, enjoyed themselves, came back, and their cars were simply gone. A lot of these people came from hours away, and now they've got no way to get home.
He said from across the street, it's not there. They must have towed it.
The Crump family had just come from the Donald Trump rally, driving over 2 hours to get here and parking just a couple of blocks away. But when they walked back to where they thought their car was, it was gone.
The other parking places were shut up, and they were other people saying the same thing when they came to, that we can park here.
Some who tell the same story came from much further away.
It's about 3.5 hours, I would say.
Darian Simmerly also attended the rally and is also in the same predicament.
He had told us already that people had been towing, that our car was probably gone.
With huge crowds swarming the parking lot of Bojangles Coliseum for Wednesday's Trump rally, parking was at a premium. As an option, drivers tell me they parked at the Dunkin' Donuts along Monroe Road. They claimed the manager at the time gave them permission to leave their cars at the lot while they attended the rally. While they were gone, tow trucks showed up and began hooking up vehicles.
The managers inside promised them that we could park here. Some of the people here even gave money to the people inside.
Now, to get their cars back, they've got to pay hundreds of dollars to the towing company. I called Gotcha Towing, the group responsible for pulling the cars out of the lot. They told me over the phone there was a sign warning people illegally parked cars would be removed. They also said the manager at the Dunkin' contacted them, asking them to pull the vehicles off their property. They told me the only way people could get their cars tonight was to pay the $380 towing fee, then abruptly hung up.
But something very fishy is going on because I've never seen this happen before.
Josh Mower says he went to confront the Dunkin' manager and claims they locked the doors on him and refused to come out.
And all of our cars are gone, the whole parking lot, everybody's. And then they locked the door, they won't answer the calls, and they won't even answer at the window.
Now, a couple of hours ago, Charlotte-Mecklenburg police did show up here on the scene after being called by those stranded drivers, but there simply wasn't a whole lot they could do at this point. What they did do is help shuttle people to the towing yard to retrieve their vehicles. In Charlotte, I'm Ron Lee, WBTV, on your side.
Wow, what an ending for these people that traveled all these miles to go to that rally.
First
It's the name of the towing truck company for me.
It's so much. Wait. Okay. First of all, that manager is a G. Whoever did that. Not only these people gave that manager money to park in his tow lot, and you know this manager was definitely not a Trump supporter because he took these people money, let them park in their parking lot, and then the parking lot filled up with these Trump supporter cars, and then he called the tow company like, "Hey, it's a bunch of illegal cars parked in our parking lot. We need you to come get them." And then Gotcha Towing comes up and get them.
I mean, did they confirm that they were actually speaking to the manager? You feel me?
I mean, yeah, you're right. You're right. If they was really speaking to the manager, I don't know. I'm like, this story is fucking hilarious.
That is that's unfortunate and
And I bet
funny.
it's like y'all did for them to say, I drove 2 hours to come see Donald Trump at the rally, and then now I got paid $380. That towing company banked that day. $380 per car. And then the thing about it is, I'm not afraid to watch nobody speak if they speaking at some called the Bojangles, whatever, some center. What? Bojangles? Do y'all know what that means to black folks?
I'm pretty sure they do. I'm pretty sure they do.
I'm just saying. Oh, hilarious. Okay.
Womp womp womp.
And to this Kamala Harris story. Here we go.
Vice President Kamala Harris just responded to the disgusting and racist remarks that Donald Trump made about her today, and her response is great. Take a look.
We all here remember what those 4 years were like. And today, we were given yet another reminder. This afternoon, Donald Trump spoke at the annual meeting of the National Association of Black Journalists. And it was the same old show. The divisiveness and the disrespect. And let me just say, the American people deserve better. The American people deserve better. The American people deserve a leader who tells the truth, a leader who does not respond with hostility and anger when confronted with the facts. We deserve a leader who understands that our differences do not divide us. They are an essential source of our strength. So I say to Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated, ours is a fight for the future.
Yeah, that is what a leader sounds like. And I agree. We deserve better than Donald Trump. We all, every American, regardless of your political beliefs, deserves better than Donald Trump. What Donald Trump further proved to us today during that interview while he was going after Kamala Harris's identity, the Democrats, people of color, is that he is incredibly divisive. We know this. He has no interest in uniting the country. Not only that, but Donald Trump is also completely unable to answer hard questions. Anytime a journalist throws a question his way that he doesn't really like, he just snaps and attacks her or attacks the crowd or whatever. Trump is unfit to serve, whereas Kamala Harris, man, she's ready right now.
Woo, child. So I didn't watch it.
I'll wait for you to say, all right, Rosy Cheeks. That's what I was waiting on. But,
I know. Hey, Rosy Cheeks. I didn't watch the panel when they had them up there. Didn't want to. I know that so from what it sounds like, their intentions was to bring him, onto a show or into a environment that professional, Black journalists can ask him questions directly without all the hoo-ha extra stuff that's going on, and try to get him, more it looked more of a relaxed type of thing. Everybody was sitting down, kind of like a talk show almost. And I mean, from the clips I saw, he spoke very calmly, you know, but I mean, a lot of people were against the fact that they even allowed him the opportunity to go in there. I'm surprised he agreed to it to a certain extent, but also not 100% shocked that he would do something like that, right? Because he's out here trying to campaign and reach every possible voter, so on and so forth, you know. So I understand it. I don't remember him doing something like that
I
before.
mean, that was the whole thing was set up basically go on there and to speak to the black community, be like, why should black people vote for you? This is your time to really speak to the black community, African minorities. This was your time to
Correct.
speak to minorities, and he did not use that time wisely. And to
I
me, he
mean, he
dropped the
was
ball and he
him.
fucked up.
I mean, he was him. I mean, he
Yeah.
didn't disappoint. He was him as far as that was concerned. But that's what I'm saying. What did we really expect out of him? I mean,
True.
honestly, I didn't expect much different from what we already see on TV. And I don't know if they felt like bringing him, like I said, into a different environment would like kind of like put him in a hot seat because now you got, all the black journalists here. They're gonna quote you word for word, so on and so forth. But I don't know. But it was a lot of outrage, like on social media. I believe the president had stepped down hours before that happened, before the interview. I think
The president.
the president of the National Association of Black Journalists, she stepped down. So let me see. Let
Oh,
me pull it up. Um,
I didn't hear anything about the journalists stepping out. But the thing is, I wouldn't have been outraged at them letting him have this opportunity because if anything, them inviting him to do that helped Harris out a lot because basically when he went on there and talked to this panel, he showed his racist.
so it was the convention co-chair. Her name is Karen Atia. She stepped down after the announcement that Trump was going to speak in Chicago at the convention. She did. She stepped down.
Yeah, I feel like this him doing that helped hurt him more than ever during this election. Um, so to keep the story going, there was a lot that was happening in this last week or so with the election. So I'm going ahead into another clip for you guys. So here we go.
Cannot make this up. Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro, one of Kamala Harris's potential running mates, just delivered a speech that absolutely destroyed Donald Trump. You have got to take a look at this.
Have you ever seen this guy? Like when he's on stage, he like kind of meanders over, can't really walk well, and he goes over to the flag and he like hugs the flag. I mean, I love the flag, but it's a weird thing he does, right? But while he's hugging the flag, you know what he's doing? He's ripping away our freedoms. That's what he's all about, because here's what I know. It's not freedom to tell our children what books they're allowed to read. That's not freedom. It is not freedom to tell people they can go to work, but they can't join a union. That's not freedom.
Okay, first thing I want to say, the guy who played the clip, who made the clip, whatever, fine as hell. Second, I'm with this man as a VP just from here seeing that little spit about with him doing that little speech right there. I can see him as a running mate for with Kamala Harris, but everybody know who my pick is for VP.
Governor Newsom. Yes, we do.
Everybody know that's my pick for her to for vice president.
Yes, we do. We need to throw a rally for him.
There was more that happened. It was more that's happened. So let's keep this story going.
This is so good. Jon Stewart absolutely destroyed Republican Bill O'Reilly with one simple question after he tried to claim that Joe Biden was responsible for inflation. Take a look.
Food prices under Biden up 20%. Gas prices 38%.
Yeah.
Mortgage rates 160%.
Yeah, prices are going up.
Drug ODs up 36%. Okay? Car insurance 125% up. Right. These are folks. They have to spend that money.
Listen, there's no question that post-pandemic, this country and the world have suffered from
Trump had 2 years of post-pandemic.
Right, but Trump ran an $8 trillion deficit. He spent $1.7 trillion on tax cuts. He deregulated
inflation
industry.
He cut 1.5% when he walked out the door.
Right, but look at it in relation to the world. I respectfully say, yes, inflation was too high, and that hurts American consumers.
You want this?
So what did Biden do to create that, though?
I don't know, and that's what I would have asked him.
So basically, you wrote down a piece of paper, but you didn't look up the answer?
No.
I mean, is that not just a perfect representation of modern political debate with the Republicans? Like, Republicans think that Joe Biden is responsible for every single issue, whether it be inflation, gas prices, or maybe it's cloudy outside on a day when they wish it was sunny. They blame Joe Biden. And then you ask them, well, how is Joe Biden responsible for this? Like, what did he do to cause this? And that's the answer every single time. I don't know. Joe Biden is not God. He's not Superman. He can't move mountains with his hands. And he's certainly not responsible for high inflation and high gas prices, especially when all of those things spiked in countries around the world at around the same time of the United States. That was very embarrassing for Bill O'Reilly and for the entire MAGA movement.
Hey, Rosy Cheeks. Now he sat up there and said, I don't know. Dumbass. He fell right into that trap.
You went on national television and tried to blame Biden for the increase in everything. And you said, and then he asked, what did Biden do to cause all this? He said, I don't know.
That's funny.
Like prices spike around the world. It's not just an American thing. Like, we're still feeling the effects of the pandemic. When we were short
we are.
Of everything, we're still feeling the effects. Let me say that one more time. We're still feeling the effects of the pandemic that was mishandled by Donald Trump himself. Once again, he got rid of the team that said, hey, there's a global pandemic that could possibly happen in the next couple of years. We need to be prepared and start doing this, and that. And he told them, you're a bunch of bullshit, and fire these people. Next thing you know, 3 years later, a pandemic hits. No plan, giving out all the money. On top of you giving out all this unnecessary money, you gave all your friends tax cuts. So while the price of everything is going up, your friends are not paying their fair share of taxes. So because your friends are not paying their fair share of taxes, that trickles down to the middle class people. You guys need to pay more in taxes now because our billionaires and millionaires don't want to pay their fair share of taxes. So we're just going to put that tax burden on you guys, courtesy of Donald Trump. And this is why we're feeling the impact of what we're feeling today off of decisions that this man made. Like if Biden was to keep running and was to win in November, and then the next 4 years, that would have been what we would have been feeling is the Biden effect. So right now, during the first 4 years, these 4 years of Biden's presidency, we're feeling the effects of the Trump presidency. Like when Trump got into office and they say, well, Trump had a flourishing economy and all this, and that. That's because that's what Obama left him. That's what he walked into. That was the hard work of President Obama. What we're feeling now is the not so hard work that Trump put into the United States. This is what happened, and this is why I keep on saying, like, if you did not have some type of like political background, you should not be running for the highest office in the country. That's something that should just never be a thing. Like if you've never been a congressman, a senator, a congresswoman, a mayor, an alderman, an alderwoman, if you've never been any of those things, a prosecutor, whatever, if you've never been any of those things, you have no business holding the highest seat in this country.
Nope.
And that's my opinion. And like I said, like we're feeling the effects of what Donald Trump did during his 4 years in office, which was nothing but go golfing and give his friends tax cuts and not really fix the economy, not set the economy up to be successful. So then when Biden came in, he already has a Republican-led, I think it's a House. I can't remember which one it is. That's majority Republican. But he already came into that. And then on top of that, he's trying to get bills passed. He's trying to get things done to bring down the cost of living. But the Republicans are like, no. Those issue was more important is women lady parts. That's what's more important right now.
Sad.
Women lady parts. Or like the woman over there, I believe in Wyoming or Oregon somewhere, where or Montana, and like you said, like we got all this other stuff going on in the world, and you want to pass a law about fucking dishwashers? You want to pass a law about kitchen appliances? Like what the?
What law was that? What? Fill me in. I gotta know. Wait, what?
So there was a woman. She went to the floor. And she went on the floor, like this is when people bring forward, like they're in their state, they bring forward like bills they want to try to get passed or whatever. And these were bills about, what kind of kitchen appliances you can and cannot have in your house. Like she's one of those people that don't believe in eco-friendly appliances. So it was something stupid. I'm like, and this is what you're wasting tax dollars do to come to the floor and debate kitchen appliances. That's what the Republicans are doing. Kitchen appliances.
Why are we debating? Why are we what?
Exactly. Kitchen appliances, women's ladies part, fucking books. I mean, like I said, like you can't stop somebody from being gay. If they're going to be gay, they're going to be gay. You're just not going to stop them. The books you ban. How many times you tell them they have to like for people like, oh well, I don't feel like as a teenager or a child shouldn't have the right to change their body and become trans, whatever. Like the white will like, okay, so then now that kid's gonna be depressed until they're 18 years old, and you think when this child turn 18 and become a legal adult that they're not gonna go get the surgery anyway and the hormones that they need to become a woman or a man or whatever it is that they feel like they are. You can't stop it. Once these people become legal adults, there's nothing you can do. Nothing. And then you're gonna be mad when your child or daughter, because now they're sinning, they're homosexuals and they're sinning. So then you put them out your house. You don't want to be part of their lives and all this other crap. And then when your child end up being a prostitute or dead or beat to death because you didn't do your job as a parent to protect them at a young age where they're still vulnerable. Yes, they're 18. Yes, they're a legal adult, but at the same time, they're still vulnerable to this world, and you didn't do your job in protecting them from that. It's your fault. It's your fault. I'm done with my rant.
Whoa, okay, rant over. Okay. I mean, I agree with you. I feel like most Americans don't become somewhat mature until they're like 25 to 30 years old, right? And when I say mature, as far as the decisions they make, the money they make, the ability to support themselves, so on and so forth, right? So I feel like, going towards middle age, that's when a lot of us are experiencing, actually being adults, because most of us kind of still
don't know how to be an adult.
That's true. You heard me say most of us, right? So, and I feel like some people are forced to grow up sooner, like, they lost their parents or their parents weren't as responsible and they decided to pick up things that their parents should have been doing. So it's a lot of ifs, ands, and buts. A lot of people don't do that and they just be out here all reckless. And I mean, I feel like that 18, like you said, as a parent of a soon to be 20-year-old, I had to sit them down and have that conversation like, yo, you're not going to life is a lot trickier than for you now than it was for me when I was your age. So a lot more expensive. You're not going to be able to, support yourself out there by yourself. Like if you decide to move out, you're gonna need at least one roommate, maybe two. You know, just to split the cost of the bills. And then like I don't want my kids to have to fall into um that harsh of like responsibility. I want them to have a nice transitional period. At least have a chance to go out there and have some fun, you know, explore, travel the world before they're bogged down with a lot of responsibilities, kids, marriage, so on and so forth. At least have a chance to go out there and have some fun. And I mean, he works, he's in college. When I tell him to do something, like he's cutting the grass right now. You know what I'm saying? So he's still learning those skills. I sit down and talk to him about budgets, how much I make, so on and so forth. The increases I've seen, like in my property taxes or in the energy costs or food costs. I talk to him about all of that. And every time I come across a bill, I'll be like, let me show you this. This is how much I'm paying towards this. And, a lot of kids where parents don't sit them down and start exposing them and then you get ready to kick them out, like it's a shock to the system because they really don't know. Like they don't know how much their phone bill is. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's something that they can't go without. Whereas where we were taught, I came up in an era where there were no cell phones. Like, you know what I'm saying? There were no cordless phones. Hell, there were no personal computers. Like, there was no internet. So it, you know,
We were born before Google was invented.
hell, before I was born, we were born before the internet went public.
We
I
were.
think you were born. Oh, okay. I'm
Um,
like, I think you were born.
Internet. I don't think households really had internets when I was born. I feel like households didn't start getting internets like mid to late '90s is when a lot of households
Correct.
started getting internet. Because I remember growing up, like we didn't get internet in our home until like 2001 or 2002 when we finally got internet in our house. And most of the time,
Okay.
if we were using the internet, we would have to go to like the public library or we had to be on like the computer at school to access the internet. For me, at least growing up, like I'm an early '90s baby, but like I said, I have a pretty good memory of things back then. So yeah,
The World Wide Web, the WWW, if y'all don't know what the hell that meant, um, it
they did that.
became. They probably did. They probably don't. It became available to the public on April 30th, 1993.
See, and then, like I said, it
So
didn't become
Al Gore's
affordable where
internet. That's why
people
we call that Al Gore's internet.
and then that's why it was. And I feel like even then, it became public in 1993, which was a year after I was born. But then I feel like households didn't have it until, like I said, late '90s. Like even when I was in like kindergarten, we didn't really have internet when I was in kindergarten. Like we couldn't go in there, like you said, just go search stuff on the internet like how we do now. It was you had basically certain internet programs and you had certain things that would link up to the internet. We had to use the internet to use it, which was like learning software type stuff. And then other than that, like it wasn't really internet like how we know it today. And then if you notice, Like I feel like the whole internet boom really didn't happen. We saw like a lot of companies using the internet. Like they didn't come to like 97, 98. And you saw a lot
And
of
I wouldn't even, I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't even really say that. So I was 10 when the internet went public. My parents did purchase a personal computer in home when that happened. So when I was in middle school, so I think I went to middle school, what, around 11 years old, 12, something like that, right? I had access to internet in my home, but it was dial up, right? So you had to
right,
have a
that was it.
home, you had to have a landline. Could
Mm-hmm.
nobody use the phone while you was on the internet? You couldn't get, you know what I'm saying? You could get calls, but if you answer the phone, it disrupt the internet connection. It was slow. That's back when we had Black Planet and MySpace and AOL Messenger, all of those things, right? This is before I even had a cell phone, y'all, because that was few and far between. People had car phones and house phones, like cordless phones, had just came into play,
So
and you couldn't even
my
walk outside of your house
my
with the
family,
cordless
so
phone.
this is so embarrassing to say. So the house that I live in now, up until I say the year 2004-ish, we had a wooden phone on the wall that had the two bells in the front, and you had to hang the phone on the side, and then in the circle it was buttons for each digit.
I grew up with a rotary phone, so why I said why?
That phone worked up until 2002.
So that's what I'm saying. Like I grew up with a rotary phone. I
I
remember
remember
this
the rotary
clearly in my
phone.
head. Yeah, and we had, because I wanted to be on the phone with my friends. We had got a very long cord for the phone, so I could take it wherever I wanted to in the house. We had one on the wall in the kitchen, right there. I feel like a lot of people had them in the kitchens,
Hmm.
and then it
That's
was
why I
an
was at.
additional. Yeah. So, but it was like a pale yellow rotary phone, and them
Did,
phones was heavy back in the
did
day.
you ever have
And
the clear phone?
I did have a clear phone. I did buy one. Yeah, where you can see on the inside, it was like brightly colored on the inside, all the mechanisms. Yeah, yes, I did. I did. I had one of those. I sure did. Um, but that's what I'm saying. Like these kids, and I tell my kids, like I was alive when internet first went public, and they can't see a life without that. Didn't have a cell phone until I got into high school, and I was one of the few people that had a cell phone in high school,
We
and
went
there was
outside and
no
played.
internet on it. But there was no internet on there. And then you paid per minute, you know what I'm saying, back then. So cell phone plans were very expensive. And I was with Sprint back then. Um, what else? Gas, $10 filled up my gas tank. Um,
Um, so like I
um,
actually tell people, like I was like I said, we was born before Wi-Fi. I felt like Wi-Fi didn't become a thing until Tina's 20s. I was in high school when Wi-Fi became like a thing, and then actually no, I was getting ready. 'Cause I don't think Wi-Fi didn't come to like what, late 2000s.
Let me see. So when I was in school, we had uh, a computer room, right? Where you can go get on the
Yeah,
computers,
the
but that
computers
was
were still hooked
for,
up to the internet with the cords, and when I was in high school.
I don't think we had internet when I was in high school. I don't remember
I'm talking
that.
about when I was in
And
high school. We had
right, but I'm just
we had
saying.
internet, but it wasn't like Wi-Fi internet. We had still like it was a blue cord hooked up to the back of the computer, which was like a phone, like it was looked like a little phone cord that wall. It was like this big old long thing that each computer had to plug into the wall. But yeah,
So Wi-Fi, wireless internet began rolling out to the public in 1999. So that's when Wi-Fi started rolling out. Now, my school, you had no internet access. You would go in there, you can do like Microsoft Word if you need to type something up, or we had like a whole type in program called Mavis. That's
I
how we
remember
learned to
Mavis.
type. Okay. And we had, you remember them Apple computers that were brightly colored in the back?
Hmm.
So we had those, but first
We
of all,
had
we had
those, and they
Microsoft
switched
computers.
to the all black Dell computers when I was graduating high school.
So we didn't have Dell computers. We had like
No,
they
we
were
had
like
the Apple
almost
computers with all the different colors, and then when I was getting ready to graduate high school, they was phasing into like Dell computers, like all Dell computers at that time.
right. So we didn't start phasing into the Apple computers until I was almost graduating out of high school. They didn't exist. So we had the old computers that look like word processors, right? So I grew up with a word processor. I actually learned how to type on a typewriter. You know what I'm saying? So I learned on the typewriter. Then we got a home computer, so I was a little bit ahead of the game with everybody. But there were those were like the first operating systems with the Windows and so on and so forth. Microsoft Word, you had to pay this outstanding fee, or you had to buy it and like you had to buy the software at like Best Buy for like $200 or something. Put it on your computer. I had the floppy disk, the big floppy disk,
I
right?
remember floppy
Then
disks.
they went, yeah. Then they went to the hard floppy disk. You know what I'm saying? So that was a switch. I grew
And then it
up
went from floppy disk to
before.
USB drives.
Yep, yep. So US like the zip files or whatever they call, like you stick them in like the USB drive, like you said. Now we got
Hmm.
clouds, right? So I grew up on records and 8 tracks. Okay, then we went to tapes. Um, then you had to fast forward, rewind, all of this extra stuff. Um, Beta players before VHS, right? I was there when Discman came out with a CD player because Discman, I believe, no, but then I have a Magnavox. No, I had a Sony to play my tapes, and the headphones were little, went over your head. They was about this big to go on your ears with little styrofoam or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like the foam or whatever.
Hmm.
Then then it progressed into the CDs, and I feel like CDs didn't really stay around for a long time. Then we had things like Columbia Records or whatever that was. When you can get 12 CDs for like 1 cent. Everybody was scamming their ass. Everybody was scamming their ass. So then after that, like I had black and white television in my room with no remote. I had to get up and turn the knobs. We only had one TV in our house that actually had a remote, and it was a floor model in the living room, and it only had like 4 buttons on it. Like it didn't have the number buttons. You had to push up and down for like the channels. And so that's why I be trying to tell my kids. Now you can change the channel on your TV with your phone. Like, how we're doing this right now, video calling, what is that? When I had laptops didn't exist. Like then they ended up the laptops started coming out, and then they put webcams on laptop. That was something new for me too. And now in school, I was playing Oregon Trail in school. Like that's what we did in high school. I was still doing Oregon Trail. But then now, like my children are given laptops to bring home.
Yeah.
They pretty much phased out a lot of
They
books.
they were the generation that grew up on technology. Like me and Tina are like our generation is the last generation to experience the world without internet.
You remember the Dewey Decimal System?
I do remember that. Never did it. Never used it, but I remembered it.
I was told that that's when you go to the library, and that's how you find out where your books are. You go look in a card like database. You find what you're looking for, and it's a number on there, and that's how you go and
Hmm.
find the book according to the number. Yes. So it's a
So
lot of things.
me being me, I was like, I'm not afraid to go through all that to find a book. Hey, librarian, can you tell me where?
Terrible.
I
Terrible.
refuse. I refuse.
And the public library was one of the few places that actually had a constant source of the internet. So a lot of people, you have to sign up for blocks of time to go to use their computers for the
And you had
internet.
a time limit on
So
how long you can be on the computer
yep,
too.
you have time limit. You can go on all sites. I remember when Facebook came out. I feel like Facebook didn't come out until after I had Corey, around the time I had Corey.
It was like I want to say 2007, 2008. Like Facebook was
Okay,
becoming
so
popular. Like
maybe it was Amari. Yeah.
yeah, like Facebook was like becoming a thing. Like when I was like my freshman year of high school was like what
Okay,
Facebook.
2004. So it was founded in February 2004. So I that is it. It launched on my birthday in 2004. So that means
Nobody
I
even
turned
heard of
21.
Facebook really then in
That's what I'm
2004.
saying.
It was years later before Facebook really took off. Like I said, like none of us talked about Facebook in school until like I said, like my freshman year of high school. So in
I
2004,
didn't.
we were still like on MySpace.
Oh, okay. So MySpace was still popular then. So I didn't have. So February 4th, 2004, I turned 21. I was pregnant with my first son. Okay. So that's how long that's been. And
February 4th,
I feel like
2004.
I didn't make a Facebook profile until after I had my second son, which was in 2008. Because
I
first,
was 12.
okay, well, in 2008,
No, 4. I was
sad.
12.
Oh, okay. Well, that's when Corey was born. Sad. I was a mother when he was 12. But that is sad. But when I do remember when Facebook first came out, you couldn't have a Facebook profile unless you had a college email.
Mm-hmm.
I do remember that. So, but yep, it was called the Facebook. Do you remember that?
I don't remember the Facebook. I just remember Facebook as in how we
Okay,
know.
okay.
Like I remember being able to send a text message to my phone and update a post onto Facebook.
Yes,
So I'm that
that
era.
did is happening.
I'm that
But
era
I'll
of
be honest
Facebook,
with you.
Twitter and stuff.
But to be honest with you, shit, Facebook is cool, but I liked how MySpace allowed you to like customize, like you can build your own code and customize your page and all of that extra stuff. So I really wish that we had that with Facebook because I remember because I believe like a lot of these kids now because they are so technology based that they will have a field day with that. You know what I'm saying? Yes, they
Mm-hmm.
would have to put some regulations on it and so on and so forth. But I mean, back then we were doing MySpace. It was a lot of people. You know, it was something new, and nobody was really using it maliciously. You know, so and we didn't have all these spam bots and people taking over your accounts and stuff like that. But if the internet went down, when my internet is like if they have an outage, my
They had an outage.
kids.
Oh,
No, I'm saying when my internet has an outage, Lord have mercy, nobody can function. They don't know what to do, so on and so forth. And I'm just like, bro, your cell phones and every so first of all you can hook a lot of things up to your cell phone because you have that ability to tether and use your cellular data for stuff, but my kids like completely melt down, like it's crazy. And I'm just like, well, shit, I
man.
can still make a phone call. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I got cellular
I
data. I don't care, but it's not fast enough for them.
I still. This is the reason why I did not get rid of PTs. So when I go, so we had an internet outage. I popped in a fucking DVD. Like fuck it, I'm ready to watch these DVDs until um the internet come back on. Because everybody who, if you don't know, I'm a big fan of One Tree Hill. I have every single last season, all 9 seasons of One Tree Hill on DVD.
I actually just threw out my DVD players. You remember Blu-ray? Blu-ray didn't last for a long time, but
Mhm.
um,
I mean, cause
DVDs.
like I got an Xbox, I could just pop the DVD into the Xbox
That
and just
too.
start watching
I
it
was
on the
gonna say
Xbox.
that. I was gonna say that. So I do have gaming systems. I have like the first Well, no, I think it's the first or the second edition of the original Xbox. Then I have the newer one, and now my son has a PS5. Don't ask me where it came from, but either way, you can hook all of those things up to a TV and watch movies, and everybody just gonna have to be in the room at the same time, like old days.
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody used to didn't have TVs in every room, and now it's like you went from a big box TV to now everybody it's flat screens in all my rooms, and it's like this is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like I knew technology was gonna progress, but so my fear comes from because we rely heavily on technology. So like with now they got stoves where you can cut them on and off with your phone. You know, you got your refrigerators where you can adjust things with your phone.
I have an
You
air
know,
fryer that I
and
can control with my phone.
so you see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? But in my head, because I'm a conspiracy theorist,
You a microwave.
I feel like the more you interconnect your life with the internet, the faster it can crash and burn.
And I feel
Right?
like, but for us, if the internet go down, it's no biggie. It's like, oh well, fuck it, I can go outside, or I can, like I said, watch
Yeah, for
movies.
us.
We know how to entertain ourselves without internet. It's the
Yeah, for
generation under
us.
us that's the next
For
generation after
us.
us that's like they cannot survive without the internet.
Correct. Because all I'm gonna do is say, "Oh, you want to come over and put some meat on the grill?" That's it. That's it. That's
I
all. You know.
mean, because we
And
went through a time where our it was a storm here, and our electricity was out for like a week or so. And like I said, we couldn't sit and watch TV or nothing like that. So it was like, I mean, we had a generator, but we only could plug up so much to a generator. So we used that to power like our deep freezer, refrigerator, and stuff like that to keep our food and stuff fresh. So,
yeah,
and to keep our phones charged, really. And I said, and I really didn't too much. I was like, fuck it. I mean, we sat outside, we talked. At the end of the day, went, took showers, and went to bed.
yeah, when that happened to me, like I would charge my phone. So it was only me, my mom, and my oldest son that had cell phones. He was young, so he really didn't need a phone. I would charge my phone in my car. You know
Right,
what I'm
I get
saying?
that.
And then, but then, like, because my children were young, then my oldest two kids were young, they still like to be outside. So, and it was, hot outside. So we had long hours of daylight. So they would just be outside. And then when it came to nighttime, it's like outside, like nighttime in the summer, you can still be outside. You get what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So that, you know what I'm saying? So that kind of, you know,
And then,
that.
so before we got this generator, I had to be a little bit more innovative. That it was the thing that I think I had let you use when you had went on, I think, a trip down south. It was like one of the little red, like cup looking thing. So,
This.
so it was that, and it was like a red cup thing too. I forgot you even had that. I don't
I
remember
tried to
what
give
that
it
cup
back to
thing was.
you. I tried to give it to you, but yeah, it heats and cools.
Yeah, so
And I
I
went,
had that. And then I
yeah.
had this other device where like you can plug like actual outlets into your like how you plug it into the wall, you can plug it into this device that plugs into your cigarette lighter in
Mhm.
your car.
Mhm.
So I had to get innovative. I was like, damn, I don't want the food to go bad. And like I said, we didn't have a generator. It was calling around and could not find a generator there at the time. So what I did was I plugged that device into my car. I left my car running. I ran a stitcher cord from the house to the car to plug into that device, and that's how I was powering the refrigerator and the deep freezer at the time through my car. I said, and
Yeah,
my
but
garage is locked, so
cars right now, like my car does have where you can plug in a prong plug.
like newer cars they
But
don't
now,
have that.
yeah. Well, see, I do in the back. Like if I lift my hatch up, I have one right in the back, and I can plug it
Yeah,
in.
see,
You know what
the
I'm
newer
saying?
cars
But older
don't have
cars
it.
don't have that. Older cars don't have it either.
And
This is
I feel
my
like older
first and only
cars maybe
car.
between like cars maybe between like 2010 to 2015 are only cars that have like actual plugs where you can plug stuff like into your car. And after like 2016, that's when they kind of phased away with that doing that whole thing. And that's
That's
what I'm saying. Like
stupid, and
that's
I feel
how
like it's handy, you know.
and like for those so like those 2 days where I left. So basically, I let my car run. Like I didn't burn a half a tank of gas in my a day just from trying to power the deep freezer and the refrigerator to keep the food fresh. Because I
Right.
gotta there's a window on my garage where you can open and close it. So I ran the cord through there so that way, and I had the windows open so the garage would not fill up with carbon monoxide or anything like that. So the exhaust get out. And like I said, I ran the cord from my car to the house, and that's how I was able to pay power the refrigerator and the deep freezer for those 2 days. And then if I was going to work, um, that's when we would like just probably just pack a whole bunch of ice in the refrigerator until I get home from work, and then once again I get off work, plug it back into the car, and then power the deep freezer, refrigerator that way, and then charging phones and so forth and so on.
But that's what I'm saying. That's so like I feel like if I ask my kids can they survive without internet or electronics, they can. It will be a shift, but I feel like they can only survive because I lived without all of that stuff. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, the only thing I don't like is because I have an electric stove, I have the induction heating top. So like if I had a gas stove, if like the electricity went out, you can just turn on the gas and light it, and you can
Yeah,
still
that's
cook.
the issue that we had. That's us. I'm going to invest in like a hot plate because like so like a
Okay.
hot plate I can plug into like I can use to plug into the generator, but like with the stove I got the plugs for that you use to plug up your actual electric stove, you can't plug those into generators. Like that kind of plug just doesn't exist for generators or extension
Or
cords in
or
general.
or hear me out. Or hear me out. Like what I would do. So we're from, what I'm saying, we're based in Wisconsin. I will grill in any type of weather if I have to. You can put
I mean,
anything
yeah,
and
that's what we ended
everything
up
on a
doing.
grill. And I keep charcoal all year round just because of that. Just because in
Yeah, we
case.
burn charcoal in the wintertime. Like, I think one year, I think I had called Tina, and I was off of work one day. No, she was like, she had to. I don't know, but it was like what outside grilling. It was like 4 degrees outside, and I was outside grilling. Like I
That's
will
what we
grill
do.
anytime. I don't care. But I just noticed what time we are in the show. And I want to get into
Oh,
these TikTok videos of the week. We didn't get to the other clips that I had need to get into, so we'll get into those on the week. So right now we're going to head into the TikTok videos of the week. This first video, I have no clue what it is, so we're going to watch it ourselves. So here we go.
Have you ever noticed that a lot of Trump campaign rallies are outdoors? If you ask certain people why they think Donald Trump is a viable candidate, they'll say, oh, he's a great businessman. Wrong answer, forehead. I've actually had several conversations with people over the past couple of weeks where they use Donald Trump being a good businessman as a reason why he's a viable candidate for presidency. Remember when Satan almost picked him up a couple weeks ago? That rally was outdoors. And if you do some digging, you'll see that the Trump campaign is not welcome in many cities across America because between him campaigning for the 2016 election and the 2020 election, they weren't paying their bills. The Trump campaign still owes the city of El Paso, Texas, over $500,000 for a 2019 rally. And there's at least 11 other cities that he owes money to as well. He owes Billings, Montana, $45,000. And he owes the city of Green Bay $9,000 and $33,000 for 2 different stops. And we could talk about the failed businesses, the bankruptcies, the civil rights lawsuits. But tell me, would a good businessman do this?
Hell to the no, to the no, no, no. Would they do that? That's what I'm going to say. So, this next clip, I saw this clip because I know Tina's company, and I was like, oh hey Torian and Nova, how y'all doing? So, Tina, your microphone is muted by the way. But I'm going to play this next clip, and hopefully Tina get a good laugh out of this. Here we go.
Yo, I swear to God, you won't believe this shit. I swear to God, it's not funny, fam. With no, stop, for real. Listen. So, I'm on Facebook. This girl was selling $30 seafood boils, right? Right, cool. Trying to support black folk. Trying to support my people. This is what gets brought to my car. I'm not analyzing it. This is what gets brought to my car. It was in a grocery bag, but I'm just now looking at it as I'm home. He think it's funny too. Bro, look at this. It's not funny. It's in a Shein bag. One, that's just one. It's in a Shein bag. Two. Oh my god. The sauce spilled out.
Oh my god.
Like you're playing. This is literally a joke. Like I'm being pranked. This is a joke. I'm literally suing, fam. She going on Facebook.
I wouldn't be 100% against it if it was washed out prior. I'll be honest with you. Like if I don't have a Ziploc bag and I got tons of Shein bags because they like Ziploc bags, I will wash the mugs out and I would utilize them.
But it looked like not only that, but it looked like you put the crab boil in the Shein bag and the bag was hot and melted and all the stuff leaked out.
Oh, no.
Sarah said she bought a crab boil. Like they cooked the crab boil and gave it to her and put it in a Shein bag.
Oh no, honey, you can't do that. It's not gonna stand up to the heat. It's not gonna stand up to the heat. It's not.
No. Hi, Torian.
No. Say hi. Hi. Oh
no. Let me head into this next clip right here because this was some innovative stuff right here. So here we go.
Hey, I'm not about to hold you. This the most hood innovative shit that I've ever seen. Dude came in to get an iPhone, right? Brand new iPhone. He used to have the Motorola Flip. I'm transferring all this shit now. The keyboard and the screen don't work anymore. This motherfucker ran a mouse to his phone. And it works. Look. Just so y'all know I ain't capper. It works. First off, how did you think about this, sir? Are you Albert Einstein? Right? Because I'd have never thought about no shit like that. Let me hook up a mouse to my phone and see if it works. Never in a million years. Never in a million years. The most innovative shit I've seen thus far. Somebody needs to speak to this gentleman and give him the Nobel Peace Prize. On the dead hammies.
Find this man. He needs to be at MIT right now. MIT, where y'all at? He figured it out. The loophole. We always. I gotta see who it was. Like,
know who it was.
like you figured out the loophole. Like I'm going to remember that. And I wonder if it works with well, no, because we don't have USB ports on our phone. But like with cordless mouses,
you got little things you can convert. You can convert the thing. So like there are
and
plugs
so that's what I'm gonna say.
That plugs into USB-C. Then you can
Like
plug
it's that
into the thing, and then you can better use.
So okay, so I can use my cordless mouse. Is what you saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, by the way, the Smurf dude who posted that video, he's packing. So next episode.
Oh wait, so before you go, Samsung.
I meant to say the next clip, but go ahead.
Oh, so Samsungs, if you don't know, if you connect them to your computer, you can do everything on your computer that's on your Samsung.
Mm-hmm. She is.
I don't know if iPhones do that, but we both avid Samsung users, and yeah.
I like the fact that I can project my screen onto my
anything.
To anything.
Yep.
I love it.
To anything.
So let's head to the next clip here.
Uncle Baby, what is this? They're my salmon burgers. Put that back.
But the date, the date say August the 14th, 2012. It might say 2012, but when I cook it, it gonna taste like 2026. Uncle Baby, what it is? So you can't read? Now I know that say chicken breast, don't it? I ain't even see the words. I just saw the date. It say December the 3rd, 2017. I know that because I froze it on December the 3rd, 2017. So when I cook it, it's going to taste fresh. It's going to take us way back to December the 3rd, 2017. Uncle Baby, do you even know what this is? It was sitting all the way in the back of the freezer. Oh, that's them Pillsbury biscuits. I sat them up in there during the recession. Put that back. I'm gonna eat them. Them still some good. He gonna get food poisoning. He gonna die. He gonna die. You know you got noodles in here? Really? Oh, them must have been way in the back. Yeah, it's dated for June the 12th. June 12th, 1979. Put that back. I almost threw up. And get out the back of my damn freezer. Matter of fact, get out the kitchen. I don't even think these crunch no more. These probably don't even crunch. You probably can't even boil these. You might have to boil these in the plastic. Worry me to death.
So you cannot tamper with any black mama or black grandmother freezer or pantry. Get out of there. Get out of there. Mind your business. Because when she cooks that food, you ain't gonna know the difference. I promise you. I promise you, you're not gonna know the difference. But also in the same breath, like black people, we gotta do better with knowing what the limitations are with freezing food. Like it is a limitation for every food that we freeze. You is an expiration date on it. It don't matter if it's frozen, y'all. We got to do better. And then the more you pack in your freezer, the less efficient it is. Ooh, child. Yes.
That cooked food in the summer and said, I'm ready to put this in a vacuum sealed bag because in December, this gonna come in handy in December when I don't feel like cooking this.
So I will say, I think freeze, like if you put it in the right type of bags, right? So you got to get the Ziploc freezer bags. You can't put them in grocery bags, regular sandwich bags, no nothing like that. You got to get the fucking freezer bags, y'all. Come on now. And I believe it is 6 months to a year, depending on what it is that you freezing. So like if you got like if you make ham on Christmas, you could potentially save that ham bone and use it in your greens the next Christmas.
True.
Just the ham bone, y'all, not the whole fucking ham. So bones and meat are different.
One time before we go into final thoughts, I'm making real fast. So there was one time I was cleaning out the deep freezer, and there was a turkey in our deep freezer that my brother won at a job 2 years prior. I'm like, why the fuck is this turkey still in the damn deep freezer?
This is why I don't use my deep freezer. This is exactly why I don't use my deep freezer.
It's crazy because when Thanksgiving came around, we went to the store and bought new turkeys instead of just cooking the turkey that we already had in the deep freezer. Lord have mercy. Okay. That being said, let's head into final thoughts. Oh, Torian, that's an ugly face and crying. Torian, you was hurting people's eardrums right now.
So toddlers are a menace. I just want to put that out there. Probably the ghettoest thing I've known since Says teenagers. I feel like toddlers are worse than teenagers, y'all. But so final thought. We're getting very close to the election for president, right? So it's going to be in November, right? So DNC is coming up, and it runs from August 19th to the 22nd, I believe, in Chicago. And I really, really urge everybody to tune in to that. You know, I did watch the RNC, so I am encouraging everybody to watch the DNC, right? Just so you're well rounded, educated, so you can make a very good decision for you and your family. Okay. Um, and with that being said, I feel like I saw that Kamala had been it had certified that she's going to be the Republican. I mean, I'm sorry, the Democratic nominee because she got enough votes, right? So, with that being said, we got a lot of stuff coming ahead at us in the next few months. Very short amount of months, very short amount of time for Kamala to campaign. Right? She's already the existing vice president, and I feel like a lot of people forget that she's actually still in office. You know what I'm saying? She's not just a candidate. She's not a senator, congresswoman, a governor, a mayor, et cetera, that's running for office. She is the vice president of the United States right now, right? So I feel like that everybody should sit down and pay attention to the DNC, not pass judgment, actually listen to the facts because I heard a lot of people was upset about Megan had Kid Rock performing at the RNC, right? If you're my age, you know the kind of music that Kid Rock puts out, which I can't say that I don't enjoy, but at the same time, tasteful when another one does it. So put your boots on and get ready for the next few months going up to the election. And that's my final thought.
Okay, I have no idea what Tina's final thought is because she went outside. And her signal was terrible outside, so I ain't hear most of her final thought. But my final thought is, you know, like I'm gonna tell you, the person that didn't hear, make sure y'all do go and vote. This is a very important election. Make sure y'all go and vote. The thing I want to stress the most: let your kids. You cannot stop your kids from being who
Come on, Puda.
no matter how much you try to instill wisdom, Lord. And as much as you try to instill some type of wisdom into them or your beliefs or your way of life, no matter what you try to do, your kids are going to do what they want to go do. Their kids are going to be who they're going to be. They're going to read what books they want to read. They're going to talk to the friends they want to talk to. There's nothing that you can do about it, but let your kids live their lives. And like I said, when you pay attention to this election season, make sure y'all go out and vote. Make sure y'all do your research. Do not vote for Donald Trump just because you think you're going to get a stimulus check, because it has to be literally a world of crisis, like an economic crisis, for somebody to sign in law and give out stimulus checks. So, with that being said, make sure that y'all tune in to next episode, which will be the season finale on the next episode. So make sure y'all tune in to that, and make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe to the podcast, whether you listening to us on the audio version, the only audio only version, or you watching us live, or you're watching us, or you going back and rewatching it live at a later time. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to this podcast. And also, there's also them deals. If I can find the deals thing for y'all. Here we go. So don't forget to head over to habits365.com. Use code Anthony4 to receive 20% off your purchase. And also head over to repsports.com. Use code Martel1 to receive 5% off your purchases. And then don't forget to head over to our website. As you can see, for those who are watching the video version, Tina Marie is wearing the official St. Cat Different Day podcast t-shirt. So make sure y'all head over to our merch store which is, I believe, direct.me/samecast different day podcast, where you get where there's a link that you click on that will take you directly to our merch store. So, with that being said, thank y'all for tuning into this episode of Samecast Different Day podcast. I'll touch
Bye.
that stuff for the people. All right, okay, we'll see y'all. Okay, all right. See y'all on the season finale.